first. One moment, just sharing my screen.
Welcome again, and thank you again, everybody, for being here. Just your presence matters, so thank you.
Could you see my screen?
Yes, we can, although it's not yet in projection mode. Okay, that looks correct.
Hello, everybody. Yemi, please tell me if everything okay with my sound.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sound, visual, everything is good.
Thank you. Today event for me, I guess it will be the hardest one because on Sunday when we found when first news about Bucha appears, I can say that the whole world was shaken by this news, and today we want to tell you about this Bucha massacre, and this hashtag is popular now, and even social media blog posts with this hashtag as the social media thinks this is a violent content. Danka, please, next slide. We put on the next slide titles of the press in the whole world, and I will read only few titles. Mother shoot with her baby in the car. Over 400 bodies of harmless civil people are found on the street and in the mass grave. Girls under 10 years old are raped by Russian soldiers. They played hunting safari with Ukrainian kids, told them to run and shoot them in their legs. Bodies of women raped and killed are left on the streets naked. And many other titles. If you didn't know what hell is, I guess the hell was in Bucha. I believe many people didn't know about Bucha, and this was one of the most beautiful cities near the Kiev. Irpin and Bucha were those towns where many Kiev citizens wanted to buy home. They was as beautiful with many parks. That was very beautiful town. And now there are hundreds buried in mass grave. Russian killed civilians just for fun. They killed mothers with children on their hands who wanted to escape. They shoot in their backs when they wanted to escape. This so-called Russian army raped women repeatedly. They raped mothers. They raped girls in front of their parents. They raped children. When our soldiers came in town, they found bodies of little girls who were even not 10 years old with turned vaginas. I can assure you that we won't forgive these things. I don't know what the word to use. Every photo from Bucha is banned, as I told you, on social media, and I guess this is because this happening because you cannot unsee Bucha. If you see it once, you won't forget it. And for us, this war is divided on before Bucha and after Bucha, because after this, nobody can say that they didn't know. They can't pretend no more that they didn't know. And on previous event, I told you that the more people will be evacuated from occupied cities and towns, the more horrible stories we will hear. And this story is one of this is one of these stories. It's hard to say, it's hard to speak, and we found one short video with few photos, but I can assure you that, well, many people who were in fact in Bucha, they say that in reality everything is much worse, and we can't even imagine what happened there from this photo. But still, we want you to see this. Danke, please.
Do you like?
No, we
Do
no,
you hear
no
see the
sound.
sound? Okay,
No.
one moment. I'm so sorry for that. Maybe it's like.
You may need to start sharing again.
Okay. Okay, I'm so sorry.
It's okay, stop. No, nothing's wrong there. Just
yeah.
While
I
Danke
said
try,
I put.
okay,
Actually,
while
I put share. Okay, share.
Danke, when you share the screen.
Yeah. I put this like, but I don't know. Maybe something with my laptop.
Let's try it again. Can you hear it on your side?
Yeah. I'm so sorry.
If you send me the link, I can share it. Okay.
Okay. One moment, Yemi.
Okay, during this pause, I just want to add that leaving these towns, Russian soldiers stole everything they could steal, everything, even underwear, washing machines. They stole everything, and we heard I don't know how to translate, girls, перехоплені розмови СБУ.
Intercepted conversation.
Oh, thank you, Ira. We heard Russian soldiers spoke with their wives, and wives asked them to bring some clothes and laptops for their children. Can you believe it? So it's not just Russian soldiers, it's their wives. It's not Putin who raped our Ukrainian women, it's Russians.
Danke, do you have the link?
Share because I so maybe this was the problem.
The entire Kyiv region.
Do you hear?
Yes.
Okay, so from the beginning.
Ukrainian forces have retaken the entire Kyiv region. But Russia's retreat comes at a high price. Northwest of the capital, the city of Bucha bears witness to the brutality of war. At least 20 people in civilian clothes left dead in the street. Each scene a grim snapshot of the chaos and violence of their final moments. Ukrainians say at the hands of Russian forces. Days earlier, the mayor of Bucha announced the liberation of his town.
March the 31st will go down in the history of our community as the day of liberation. The liberation of our armed forces of Ukraine from Russian occupiers. So today I state that this day is joyful, and this is a great victory in the Kyiv region, and we will definitely wait until there is a great victory all over Ukraine.
The joys of victory soon dampened by death. Ukraine's general staff is warning Bucha residents Russian forces mined the city before they left. Combat engineers work to clear suspected mined areas. Bodies remain where they fell until it's safe to retrieve them. Bucha's mayor says entire families were killed and nearly 300 people have been buried in a mass grave. Not far from Bucha, in the village of Dmitrivka, west of Kyiv, the remains of Russian soldiers killed in fierce fighting there, left in the street.
In
the north of the country, the occupiers continue to retreat, slowly but noticeably. In the east, the situation remains extremely difficult. Russian troops are moving to Donbass and towards Kharkiv. They are preparing new strikes. We are preparing an ever more active defense.
As Ukrainians begin to occupy and clear recaptured areas, what happened in Bucha, Ukrainians fear, could be the first of many instances of communities shattered by this war. Zain Basravi, Al Jazeera, Lviv.
Yeah. Actually, this is the end.
Thank you, Danka. And thank you, Alexandra. It's just shocking, awful, no real words can describe it. And I just want to encourage people here to acknowledge the courage that our Ukrainian sisters here are showing, because as much as we try to empathize and stand with Ukraine, and it's hard for us to see this, but imagine them. This is their country. These are their actual people. So thank you for the courage with which you are doing what you're doing. And for anybody watching this, wherever you are, please go all the way with the empathy. Let's not look at these pictures like it's somebody else. These are our brothers and sisters. This is our shared humanity. Someone is doing this to our people. Back to you, Alexandra and Danka.
Thank you, Yemi. Thank you for your words. And actually, I would like to Nata to continue, and she will tell us how Russian authorities wanted to hide that the Russian army did all those terrible things. Nata, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Alexandra. Thank you, Yemi, and thank you everyone for joining us today and for giving us the words and possibility to speak about this. So what you can see on our screen, on the left side, it's a screenshot from the Facebook page of the Ministry of Defense of Russia, and about their post on the Facebook, which they made approximately the same time, yes, when this picture started appearing in social media, in other medias, not only in Ukraine, I mean, all over the world, but they trying to say that it's like wrong, that we are lying again. And to be honest, when we were preparing this presentation, all of us, yes, I just checked it by myself today. I just went to this page, to the Facebook page, because on the presentation we have there even the link to it, and I checked it and it's still there. I mean, it's still on the Facebook, their opinion, yes, how they see it. And what they are saying, like, it's translated into English, what you can see on the left side on the screen, but actually it's written in Russian on their Facebook page. And what I saw, they have it like mostly in Russian language, but sometimes they have it bilingual, yes, so people can also read it in English. And yes, they say that it's a provocation from our side and the provocation from our Ukrainian authorities, and as they call it, our Western sponsors. So they call like European Union as our Western sponsor that help us spreading the lie, yes, which we are spreading. And they say that this propaganda of our videos and of our pictures, that they appeared like long time ago, before the Russian troops were in Bucha, and that it's our fault and the fault of our army, and that we did it by ourselves. And actually, this is, you can see on the picture, yes, like that Russian Defense Ministry doesn't recognize the atrocity of its military in Bucha. And on the right picture, which you can see also from the satellite, it's actually we had this information from the New York Times that they published these satellite pictures, and they confirmed that the bodies appears there during the time when the city was controlled by the terrorists. So, like, again, there is a big lie of Russian government, and even in such terrific situation and in such horrible times. And again, like, we're trying to prove everything, yes, and to see that it's lie, and just to show to the whole world that we are saying the truth, yes. And even if some information occurs, we understand that it's also the war of information. Unfortunately, it's still here, yes. So still the world needs to know the truth, but you can see how they defend like their own opinion, yes, how that they're right. And then, Danka, please go to the next slide. There was another like video again from the New York Times, and this is the video from the aerial footage which was recorded. Danka, can you hear me? Okay, you will show this video. Okay, but I will shortly describe what it was. It's very short. It even doesn't have a sound. But again, it was recorded by Ukrainian military forces in early March when Russian forces were in the town, and how they were shooting civilians from their tanks. Yeah, so you will see the man which were approaching by his bicycle on the street, and there was a tank, yes, and they were just shooting civilians. And again, like, it's just the real video. So, and again, it's an article in New York Times. So Danka, please share this video. Yes, that's it. Thank you, Yemi. It was very short one, but actually it was just like proving for my words. Like, yes, it was just one episode which you saw on the video, and which were filmed, yes, by the camera. But there were like so many, unfortunately, cases like that happening on the streets of Bucha, Irpin, Gostomel, and other small cities on the western and north part of Kiev region. So actually, from my side, that's it. Thank you so much. We are trying to be very short today because we want to give more time to our guests, but I'm giving my words to Oksana. Thank you.
Thank you, Nata.
Thank you, Nata.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to continue our short presentation with giving you an idea what is the position of Russia towards the horror they created in Ukraine. Here is the article recently published in one of the biggest Russian state-owned news agencies, RIA News, titled "What Russia Has to Do with Ukraine." You can find the link to the whole article on the slide, while I will read you just a couple of quotations from there. Back in April last year, we wrote about the inevitability of denazification of Ukraine. We do not need Nazi Ukraine as an enemy of Russia and an instrument of the West. Today, the issue of denazification has moved into practical plane. The name Ukraine apparently cannot be retained as a name of fully denazified public entity liberated from the Nazi regime. Ukrainism is an artificial anti-Russian construction that doesn't have its own civilization content. a subordinate element of an enemy and an enemy of civilization. Therefore, the denazification of Ukraine is also its inevitable de-Europeization. All armed Nazi formation, including the armed forces of Ukraine and military informational and educational infrastructure that endorse their activity, have to be eliminated. Still, a significant part of population, which is passive Nazis, is also guilty. They supported Nazi power. Fair punishment for this part of population is also possible as bearing the inevitable hardships of a just war against the Nazi system conducted with a care towards civilians. Further denazification of the masses consists in re-education, which is achieved by ideological repression, suppression of Nazi attitudes and strict censorship, not only in political sphere, but necessarily also in the sphere of culture and education. It is quite difficult to comment it. As you see, this is the position of Russia towards Ukraine and Ukrainians. And this is what they mean by denazification, or should we call it genocide? They do not even try to conceal it anymore as they did before. This is the result of impunity, and it will get worse if the world stays silent. And now I'm giving the floor to my colleague.
Thank you, Oksana.
I think I can go, I suppose. Everything will be okay with smart internet connection. Actually, we decided to tell you about killed children because it's always important. And I guess you remember our first meeting, it was like 60, if I'm not mistaken, plus children. Now Russia killed 165 children and 266 children are actually now injected. And it's like for the more than months of Russia invasion in Ukraine. Alexa, maybe next slide. And as always, we want to show you this slide about how you could support Ukraine. You could do like similar steps, like just post in your social media information about what is happening in Ukraine, like just do not buy Russia products or goods, email your local politicals, and also we gathered, I guess in the right, in the left part side, you could see useful links. Please just after our presentation, like I will send you like link to whole presentation. Just click on these links as there really is like real useful resources. For example, the first one, help. You are now its resources with some list of organizations, both like bigger and smaller. When you could like choose organization and donate. Of course, Goodwill Wow, which actually initiated with UPG, and there you could find Ukrainian education platform. It's NGO who helps civilians in this war. Yeah, also I think this one is so important because there is like information for post in 31 language. You, I guess, could find your language and download information and share. Yeah, thank you, Alexa. Not only in English, but in your local language information, what is happening in Ukraine. And the next slide. Actually, it's about donation. And, you know, many people could think, oh, I want to help Ukraine. I want to donate, how I can help. It's like we call you all our UPG Ukrainian community. If you don't know where to donate, we call you to donate to Ukrainian army. Why this is so important? Because guys, now Ukrainian army fight with the fight against the second army of the world, with Russian army. And if we don't support our army, there will be more these cases which we see in Bucha now. There will be more murdered, could be more murdered people, more wounded people. And here is some resources like NGOs, the Return Alive Foundation, and also the National Bank of Ukraine has own account, and you could donate to our army. And the last one, for now, it's just image, just nothing, just icon. But there is sentence here could be a logo of your initiatives. We understand that we are not millions or billions, and you can't continuously give all your money for Ukrainians, but you could make some steps, or for example organize campaign in your country and collect money for Ukrainians. For example, my friends from Ukraine, they collect books from usual Ukrainians, and then each of Ukrainians could buy this book by donating to the Ukrainian army. You could do, I don't know, selling the cookies, or organize some charity initiative. Just do little steps, little campaigns, but support us. And from me, it's all from me. And Alexa, you go.
Thank you, Danka.
Thank you, Danka. And finally, Yemi, we go to our speakers. Actually, we spoke about Bucha today, and the next city is Mariupol. We heard about it. You heard about this a lot from us on every meeting, and today we have two speakers from Mariupol. And as I told you, the more cities or towns will free from Russian occupation, the more terrible things we will know. And we have the information that a Russian army took with them portable crematoriums. I believe I said right. We thought that this was for the soldiers, as they, as Russian army doesn't prefer to take their bodies with them. But now we believe they will try to hide the consequences of the thing they done in our cities. I hope I'm wrong, but now we have our speakers, Anna